Welcome to The Explainer. Remember that movie, Super Size Me? The one where a guy ate nothing but fast food for a whole month? Well, today we're going to go beyond the documentary and really break down the shocking medical data through a doctor's critical lens.
So let's get right into it. What actually happens to your body on a diet like this? One man, Morgan Spurlock, decided to find out for himself. And the results? Honestly, they were way more dramatic than anyone, including his own team of doctors, could have ever predicted.
All right, so before we dive into all the damage, let's set the stage. We need to know where he was starting from. What kind of shape was he in before this whole 30-day McChallenge even began?
Well, before he took his very first bite, he got a full workup from multiple doctors, and they all gave him a clean bill of health. His blood work was great, his organs were, quote, perfect, and his body fat was low. He was, for all intents and purposes, a perfectly healthy guy.
And here are the rules that were going to govern his life for the next month. Pretty simple, but brutal. Rule 1, only McDonald's. Rule 2, 3 square meals a day. Rule 3, he had to try everything on the menu at least once. And the kicker, Rule 4, if they asked him to supersize it, he had to say yes.
So you'd think maybe the problems would build up slowly over the 30 days, right? Nope, it didn't even take a week. His body started sending out some serious distress signals almost immediately.
I mean, we're talking just a couple of days in, and he was already getting these immediate, really uncomfortable digestive issues right after eating. His body was basically in open revolt, trying to figure out what to do with this sudden flood of new food.
But it wasn't just physical, and this is what's really interesting. His mental state took a nosedive almost right away. He talked about feeling down and genuinely depressed, a huge change from his normal, upbeat personality.
And when you look at it from a medical perspective, this makes total sense. Experts will tell you that a diet that's missing key nutrients is directly linked to mood instability. His brain was literally being starved of the stuff it needed to function the right way.
So, okay, those were the early warning signs. But as the days rolled into weeks, his physical and mental health went from just bad to a legitimate crisis. He found himself caught in this really bizarre and vicious cycle. He'd eat this huge meal, feel awful, but then just a little while later, he'd get hit with these intense, overwhelming cravings for more of the exact same food that made him feel sick.
So what on earth is going on there? Well, it's all about the science of a massive insulin spike. You see, all those processed carbs in the fries and the buns would cause his blood sugar to shoot through the roof. His body would then freak out and release a ton of hormones to deal with it, which then caused his blood sugar to crash hard. And that crash, that's what triggers those powerful hunger signals. It's just a brutal roller coaster for your system.
The list of symptoms just kept getting longer, and honestly, kind of scary. His partner said he was exhausted all the time, his energy levels were just in the basement, and his overall vitality, yeah, including his sex drive, had pretty much disappeared. This diet was poisoning every single part of his life.
And then, finally, after 30 very long days, it was over. The final medical tests came in, and this is the moment of truth. They revealed the true, and I mean shocking, extent of the damage that was done inside his body.
So, first up, the most visible change, the number on the scale. He gained almost 25 pounds. In 30 days, that is nearly a pound a day. Just let that sink in. And look, this wasn't good weight. This wasn't muscle. His body fat percentage shot up like a rocket, going from a really lean 11% all the way to 18%. That's a huge jump into a much less healthy zone.
But as bad as that was, the numbers inside his body were even more terrifying. His cholesterol went up by 60 points, pushing him into a dangerous range. And his liver, the organ that's supposed to filter out all the bad stuff, it was so overloaded with fat that his doctors literally described the test results as obscene.
So the final diagnosis, you might want to sit down for this, was just awful. In 1 month, he had basically given himself fatty liver disease. He developed something called hyperuricemia, which is a buildup of waste products that can lead to gout and kidney problems. All of that, plus high blood pressure, had effectively doubled his risk of having a catastrophic heart failure. Okay, wow. After seeing that devastating breakdown, what does this extreme, crazy experiment really teach us about our own, maybe more moderate relationship with fast food? And this, of course, brings us to the big question, the one that always comes up in these discussions. Who's really to blame here? Is it the individual making the choices, or the corporation selling the food?
You know the debate. On one hand, you've got the personal responsibility argument. Hey, we're all adults, we have to make our own smart choices. But on the other hand, people say, hold on a second.
How can you expect people to do that when companies spend billions of dollars marketing this stuff to us?
But according to the medical expert whose analysis we reviewed, framing it as an either-or question is just the wrong way to think about it. He calls it a false dichotomy. The truth is, the responsibility has to be shared. It's both.
And the final takeaway from a doctor's point of view is all about being pragmatic. You know, the goal isn't to be perfect, to completely eliminate fast food forever, because let's be real, for most of us, that's just not going to happen. The real key is restriction and, most importantly, balance.
One thing, however, is absolutely crystal clear after seeing all this evidence. An extreme diet of only fast food is undeniably incredibly dangerous to your health. It is, as the doctor puts it, a definite no-no.
And that leaves us with this really provocative final question, right from the film itself. It reframes this whole thing not just as a diet, but as an ongoing battle for our health. It asks you to think about who really has more to lose in this fight. Who do you want to see go